G'day, I'm Ash, and welcome back to War Thunder. This time we're on the dev server, and as per normal, you know the drill. This is probably not reminiscent of what is going to come to the live server, but today we're going to be taking a look at the aircraft. And no, there will be a separate video, in fact, separate videos on the Chinese if I get around to covering absolutely everything. There is a lot to cover. This patch is absolutely humongous, and with the whole copy-pasta thing with the Chinese tech tree, let's go over everything else before we jump into the Chinese tech tree in a further video. As of currently, the F4C. This is the F4C Phantom 2. It's a rank 7, or should I say rank 6? I hope it's a rank 6. I can't do, math is not good. It is a rank 6. It currently sits under the F100D. And this particular aircraft is probably the most hyped vehicle of all time. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous for understandable reasons. Now, there is a bit of a problem with some of the placeholder stats, so do not take my word. These will probably change. It is currently a battle rating 10.0, and I was hoping I'd see this at a higher battle rating, but regardless, it does have a 20mm M61 cannon with 1200 rounds of ammunition, and currently, the loadout I have equipped is the AIM-9B Sidewinders, it doesn't matter, the air-to-air missiles, and there are 4 of them. In terms of armor, there's no armor protection, and again, some of these models will be updated in the future. On X-Ray, it's 2 General Electric J79 engines strapped side by side, and of course, fuel absolutely everywhere, as well as the double wing spars and the 2 particular cockpits. Or should I say, the pilot and a secondary pilot. I believe that is the radio or radar operator. And interestingly enough, the guns are mounted on a pod directly underneath the vehicle here. So it's going to be particularly interesting to grind. Anyway, let's take a look at the modifications quickly. And I should mention, this thing's top speed is 2,290 kilometers an hour. Definitely going to be a fun one playing this one. Modifications wise, obviously you can get armoured targets with your 20mm cannon, which indicates that you could do 59mm of penetration at 10 meters, but realistically you're looking anywhere between 500 and 100 meters, so you know 56 to around 43mm of penetration with the armoured targets. Good enough. Alright, armament wise, you can go for underslung gun pods, because why not? And this increases your ammunition capacity to 3,600. Yeah, that's quite a lot. And there is some other interesting bomb loadouts, like 500 pounders times 18. I'm pretty sure that is a bug. You get 250 pounders times 18, which would look absolutely ridiculous. There it is. My goodness me, this is an absolute menace. There is a reason why we like the smell of napalm in the morning. Obviously, the 750 pounders, you can get a bunch of them on the same racks. And obviously, you can get the 1,000 pounders times 8. The bullpups, the AGM bullpups, the 12C and the 12B. I don't know the difference. You can also get the immense amount of array of rockets. Too much firepower. This thing is going to be an absolute monster. And of course, with that, you can also get the AIM-9s times 4, as well as your AMG 12. So a very useful, versatile aircraft, and there's a bunch of other modifications which I haven't necessarily put on. But you get the idea, as well as a new type, a missile type, the Zuni. I believe it is the rockets, which hold 24, which should be pretty interesting to see. Anyway, there are 2 other aircraft that USA get, and they are practically identical except for one major feature. This is the F-89B, and this is the F-89D. Now I'll get into why these particular vehicles are different. They are rank 5, and they are both premium, and they are both 7.3. There's a crew of 2, so there's obviously some offensive armament, a small radar, and the airframes are virtually identical, aside from one distinct feature. Now, we'll go over to the F-89D, and on the externals for this particular one, it doesn't really look that different, aside from the fact that the wing pods now mount your FFAR Mighty Mouse rockets, and there are 104 of them. Now, just looking at this gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I wouldn't necessarily want to use this particular vehicle at all. I don't know, it just reminds me of some strange stuff. But regardless, awesome firepower. This thing does not have guns at all. If we go into the modifications here, just close air support. So, and it's without offensive armament. Compare that to its predecessor, which only can carry guns. So, a very strange decision. But this does have 6 20mm cannons. There are 1,200 rounds of ammunition, so plenty for killing things with, I do say. And if you're looking for a rank 5 7.3 jet that can do 882 kilometers, this is your vehicle for you. There are no camouflages on these vehicles, and there is only one camouflage that you can get on the F4 Phantom, as I had mentioned before. But yeah, that is basically America. Alright, let's jump over to the next nation. Germany gets one single aircraft this patch. This is the G91R3, and basically it's just an identical copy of the Italian jet. Obviously there was a joint program where the Germans and the Italians developed this particular aircraft, so it's only fair that they get this in the regular tech tree. Currently sits directly under the HO229, so if you like grinding out for that, at a battle rating of 9.0, it's certainly going to be a viable jet. That being said, currently equipped with 4 Nord rockets, fair enough, but it's also got 30mm cannons, unlike the other G91s that you see in the Italian tech tree. So, you know, a fairly versatile vehicle in itself. Now, it can hold SNEBs, but it does not have access to any air-to-air armament at all. And obviously, that's quite a bit of a concern, but at 9.0, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially with the 50mm, the 30mm cannons. This is the MiG-21 F-13. It's Russia's only aircraft for 1.91. However, it does have a crew of 1, and it's got the 30mm NR30 cannons. Now, it does have a limiting capacity of rounds. It's only got 60 ammunition, so that's 30 rounds per gun. And I'm hearing that the Chinese version of the particular MiG has double the amount of ammunition capacity, but that's not really a good look considering it's a copy-pasta sort of tech tree. Regardless, this thing can go 2,240 kilometers an hour. It is a rank 6. It is a battle rating 10.0. And again, I'd like to see the battle rating system bumped up to 10.7. The takeoff run is 750 meters, but again, she's a big bastard, and I've heard that she's particularly annoying to land. Regardless, armor, typical for a Soviet fighter, 65mm on the front, obviously 16mm steel, and then obviously 25 behind the head. In terms of X-ray, well, she's got self-sealing fuel tanks absolutely everywhere, and the Tumansky R11 F300 jet, you know, it's nothing to gawk about. Obviously 3 internal wing spars and fuel tanks absolutely everywhere, and you know, 60 rounds per gun. In fact, I believe it is a single gun. It is a single gun. There is only one gun. I thought there was 2 guns. Never mind. And obviously, a distinguishable feature is this massive, and I'll go into the Ansel view, is this pitot tube. And the pitot tube allows the aircraft instruments to be measured, and the indicated airspeed goes on the front. But yeah, that is the MiG-21. Obviously, armament-wise, you can hold 2 RS. You can hold the reversed engineered sidewinders, which is okay, I guess. In terms of other modifications, it's not as impressive as the Phantom, and I think the Phantom just outclasses this jet completely. Can hold 500 pounders and 250 kilogram bombs, but kind of lackluster. Obviously, it can get the S24 rockets ×2, which I've got currently mounted, or did have currently mounted, and you can also get 32 in what appears to be some sort of like close air support rocket mounting. But again, would it be useful? I highly doubt it. But that is the MiG-21. Let's move on to Britain. Britain gets 2 aircraft this batch, including helicopters, which we'll touch in a further video, but we have the Swift F1 and the Swift F7. Swift F1 is a rank 5 battle rating 8.3 jet, and obviously I'm happy that Britain is getting something this patch. I was really hoping for the Electric Lightning, but then again, 2 major superpowers focus, that's okay, they'll probably add something later down the line. So Tiaboos, calm your farm, you at least get something to play with, and well, something to play with this thing has. It's got 30mm Aden cannons, and with 2 of them with 400 rounds. There's 200 rounds per gun, but again, nothing too special. Armour, 50mm plate, and I said 60 there, and a 12.7 behind the pilot. In terms of X-ray view, it's all self-sealing fuel tanks. Wing spars, the engine, which is the Rolls-Royce Avon Mark 105 jet, which is very impressive. Max speed is 985 kilometers an hour, although I think you'd probably be able to push that. Let's take off the modifications here. We'll go over those in a second. And we'll push that probably over 1,000 kilometers without ripping, probably. We'll have to have a bit of a test on that one. Has a higher takeoff run than the previous aircraft we just had a look at basically 150 more. But that's okay. Let's have a look at the modifications real quick. There is no air-to-air missiles for this particular vehicle. However, it does get air targets, ground targets, and obviously stealth. So I guess the 30 mils kind of adds up. But you can get the Aidens on the Hunter anyway. Bombs, 500 pounders times 2, obviously, and then 2 options for bombs, which are 2000s. And you can get the RP3 rockets times 16. Not that interesting. There is no camouflages for this. It looks neat. It's okay. But again, where's my electric lightning? Come on, Garson. Then we move on to the Swift F7. Now, someone told me that this was going to be unarmed. Well, in-game currently it has 2 30mm Aidens with 320 rounds. I don't know where the extra rounds went, but comparing the two models, it looks like this one has a longer nose, obviously has streamlined fuselage, some other bits and pieces added to the wings. Obviously, same bulletproof glass and steel plate. X-ray is basically the same, except for the fact that this is a Mark 116 Avon jet engine instead of the previous model, which provides a little extra thrust. And it has a radar, so obviously the newer engine is to compensate for the extra weight of a radar in the nose there. And this, hold on, let me just purchase the particular airframe. There we go. And now I've aced it. It doesn't come with any weaponry ordnance at all. It only gets the 2 cannons. Very sad. And well, that's about it, really. Italy gets 5 new aircraft, 4 new aircraft and 1 new premium. And I say 4 new aircraft when they're not really that particularly new, because again, the RE2005 is just a modification of the RE2000 series, and it sits underneath the RE2001 and continues all the way down. They get the Vampire FB52, which looks like this. They get the CL13 Mark IV, which looks like this. Not that appealing, but we'll go into some specifics here in a second. And obviously they get a F86K. Good on them. But there's also this new edition of a 109 G2, and this is absolutely gorgeous. I believe this is the Romanian camouflage, or is it the Hungarian camouflage? Country vehicle Italy, and I'm not entirely sure. This one is just a premium, so we're not going to really touch that. RE2005, rank 4, battle rating 5.0. It's got a 20mm MG151 cannon times 3, and it's got 12.7mm machine guns, and this thing should be an absolute beast. Top speed is 678 kilometers an hour, and we'll have to do some further testing with this one, because I have a feeling this one's going to be absolute blast. Moving on to the Vampire, nothing too frisky about this one at all. There's not really a great deal of modifications. It is just a Vampire. It's a rank 5, battle rating 7.7. CL13, it's rank 5, 8.3. It has the 12.7 M3 Browning 50 machine guns, the 6 of them. In terms of modifications, it doesn't get air-to-air missiles. That is a running theme of this particular patch in terms of aviation as far as it goes. You can get the HVAR rockets, the 16 of them, or you can get the 1,000-pound bombs. Now, they obviously get an F86K. It's 20mm cannons times 4, very much exactly the same as the French, 1,121 kilometers an hour, and again, armor basically the same, and the same internals. However, this one does have an active radar, and I think this patch has also added the radar for the other F86 as well. Nothing too drastic, it just gets AIM 9Bs, and that's really it for the Italian aviation. And that basically wraps up the video. I know it is very quick, and that's the whole idea, to sort of show you what's new briefly. Stay tuned, there'll be probably more in-depth videos. We've got to do and got to cover some of the vehicles for China. Again, a lot of it is just copy-paste. I'm just looking at the list right now. But hopefully you enjoyed this one. We've got ships to take a look at. We've got a couple of helicopters to have a look at as well. We'll combine the ships and the helicopters into one video. and then we'll have a look at China. And hopefully we can also have a look at some of the other interesting mechanics as well. But until next time, my name's Ash, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.